evening, YouTube family. We're working on day 5 of our 12 Days of Candy series. And today, and it's actually tonight, so, but I might say tonight, I might say today. But anyway, tonight we are working on a potato candy. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it, or if you've ever made it, or if you've seen it on YouTube. The first time that I ever seen it was whenever I first married my husband, almost 15 years ago, and we had our first Thanksgiving with his mother, and she had a big batch of potato candy made, and my husband had asked me had I had it to eat, and I had not ever heard of it, and I did a little research on it, and it is a depression-born candy, and you use an Idaho potato to make it. I've already peeled my potato. I used one that fairly large one. It was about that big, pretty good size, about as big as your hand, good size around, because you're going to need a good bit of potato, but not like a whole bunch. You're not making, it's going to have something else that goes in it, and it's going to be quite shocking for you guys when you see how much goes in there. But right now, I'll pull this off the heat. I got it boiling. I'm just waiting for it to get fork tender, and then I'm going to come back, and I'm going to show you how to make this. And I'm going to confess something to you. I've never made this. This will be my first time making this in front of you, because this was my mother-in-law's. And so whenever my mother-in-law passed and went on to be with the Lord, my sweet sister-in-law Sheila is the one who produces this for us at family gatherings. And basically, it's powdered sugar, an Idaho potato, and the filling is peanut butter. Anyway, I'll be right back as soon as this potato's done. Okay, family, we're back. So the potato's done. I've got it in my mixer, and I need to get you guys fixed where you can see. I've got too big of a gap here. Let's see if we can get it to turn down a little bit. Okay. So, this is the potato. Let me show you. Drained in there. No milk, no salt or nothing. And remember, it's just a little past fork tender. Or fork tender. I did a little past because we're not adding anything in there to cream it, and so it kind of has to get creamy. Like I said, I've never made this before, so let's see what happens. So, when I'm running this, I'm going to give you some instrumental music to listen to, so you don't have to listen to the blender. Okay, so now we have it all blended up, and let me show you the consistency I have it. And like I said, I have never made this. I have watched it made, I have tasted it, but see, just like if you were making mashed potatoes. Now here's where it gets interesting. This is powdered sugar. Every recipe I looked up for this, and even asked my sister-in-law, you don't have a measurement for powdered sugar. You just add until it's a dough. So it's like a taffy. Like a pulled taffy. So, we're going back to the mixer. And more instrumental music for you guys. Sides a little bit. It is snowing in this kitchen. Okay. I've added 3 cups so far. Let's go ahead. Now I'm going to add 2 more in there. So that's going to make a total of 5 cups. And I had a whole bag of the powdered sugar in this Ziploc bag here. This is kind of how I've got it. I take a Ziploc bag and put it in a bowl, and that way, any messes I make, I'm just going to tell you, you can't help but make a mess with this candy. So. There. So now I have to kind of pick it off of this. Now the next thing we have to do is we have to get a piece of parchment paper or wax paper, or you can use saran wrap. It's your choice. And then it's more powdered sugar to roll it out. So we are having a sweet candy. I don't eat very much of this, I tell you, because it's very filling, but my husband sure does love it. It takes him back to his childhood. It's a candy that was made for my mother-in-law, and she made it for her children. And it's like I said, it's a depression candy, one that they would make because they didn't have all of the ingredients to make candy. Oh, that's good. That's a nice, pretty consistency, and it's pretty light. Let's move this mixer over there. I'm going to get you guys where you can see what I'm doing. Already got me a piece of parchment paper here. We're going to lay it out. I'm going to lower you guys down just a little bit more so that you can actually get in there and see a little closer what I'm doing. Like I said, eventually I'm going to have a camera that kind of hangs over the top so you guys can see what I'm doing. Now, let's put a little bit of powdered sugar on this board. On this parchment paper, on this board. I've been wanting biscuits. So I'm acting like I'm rolling biscuits. This is biscuits, but it's not nothing but like 99.9% powdered sugar. And somebody told me, my sister-in-law told me, that it's a lot of powdered sugar, and she wasn't kidding. It's a potato with some powdered sugar in there. Now I gotta get it all out of the bowl. It comes out like a dough, you know, when you're making a yeast dough, how that will kind of come together. It's kind of got that same thing going on with it. You just got to get it to unlatch. And it is like a taffy. I may have needed just a little bit more powdered sugar in there. But it feels like a taffy to me. It feels like a pulled taffy. So I'm going to give the dough just a little taste. Let's taste it. I don't taste a potato in that at all. It's pure sugar. So let's take a little bit more powdered sugar. And we want to make sure it's trying to stick to the board. So let's really put the powdered sugar on that board. On that parchment paper. So it's pulled over. It's pretty sticky still. I may have to work some more. Spatula's working to get it off. It just needs a scooping. I think that was an eye of the potato that I missed. It may have been hiding from me. So, alrighty. Put a little bit more powdered sugar in. Like I said, they said lots of powdered sugar. You can't get enough powdered sugar. So if you are a diabetic, this is not the candy for you. It is not the candy for you. I'm going to go in with this spatula again because one of these little spatulas will scoop that right up off of there for you until you can get it moved over. Kind of roll it over. Now I got it to where I can work it. Now then, take that over there. Boy, it makes a lot too. That's a pretty good size. Like I said, I've never made this before. We're doing something new together here. It needed, before I took it out of there, it needed a little bit more powdered sugar. Now do you see how that's more of a dough? It was still just a little bit loose. And I'm actually just going to put more powdered sugar down on the parchment paper. Somebody's going to watch this video and they're going to be like, what is this woman doing? But this is it. This is a potato candy. And now what I'm fixing to do is I'm going to go down here to my drawer. And by the time I'm done tonight, it's going to look like it has snowed in my kitchen. But I'm going to get some and I'm going to be generous. I was told to be generous with it. So now let's put that over there. And we're going to start working it out. And I may have to put another piece of parchment paper. You know what? Sometimes my counters just aren't deep enough. When you're making candy, you almost need a 6-foot deep counter. So let's put another piece of parchment paper. Let's move this stuff down. Get some of my food out of the way. Hey, if you ain't making a mess, you ain't having fun. That's my slogan. If you are not making a mess, it ain't going right. Let's get some powdered sugar over there so we don't stick to that parchment. And what we're going to do is we're going to roll it out. This good old parchment paper sometimes needs to have a little dampness underneath it to kind of hold it in place. I don't have any wax paper. Wax paper probably would have worked better. But we're going to have to roll this out to about an inch to a half inch. It's thin. It's not thick. So more powdered sugar on the pen because it's trying to a little bit more on the candy. Hope you guys can see what I'm doing. And you're going to try to go to like a rectangle or a square. She's a rolling good for me now finally. I had to get a little weight on that other piece of parchment paper. Like I said, I never made this before. We're making this new together. I'm going to turn this around so I can roll this side. And like I said, when I get done, if it looks like it snowed up in this kitchen, that would be fine with me. I got a little extra on this corner, so I'm going to put it over there. That way I don't go off the parchment paper on this side. I wish I could give you guys a better view of what I'm doing. And you see it'll start sticking, and you have to get some more powdered sugar, because I don't know if we've used enough or not. What you guys think? My goodness gracious. My goodness gracious. So I'm just rolling and rolling. And this side over here is a little thick. Now, I noticed, and mine's going to be way uneven. And I made a whole lot more than what they did. I might have had a big potato, but the potato I seen used was a humongous potato. So, what we're going to do is, I'm going to kind of lean you forward. Let you see that. It's supposed to be square. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this side be my square side. And I'm going to get me a little knife. And I'm going to just cut off this side right here and make that straight. And I'll save these little pieces. They'll eat them. Let's get that and put it over there. This is pretty easy candy. You don't have to put it in the refrigerator. I mean, you may want to keep it in the refrigerator after you make it, but you can serve it right away. We're going to cut this side off. We're not going to be worried about it being perfectly straight. One of the things I can tell you about homemade candy is the beauty in them is the imperfection, because they were handmade with hands of love. They were beautifully made. And so I got a little bit of this left, and I'm going to just kind of leave that over there. Might do something with that later after we're off camera, but I think I've got this looking pretty good. This side over here maybe need to roll out just a little bit more. Try to get it a little bit more square. I'm going to cut off this little end right here. I'm not going to worry about it being too imperfect. Now, I got to get rid of this knife because I got a sweet little boy that came over for supper tonight, and he's going to want to come in here and spread the peanut butter. But I'm going to go ahead and get this peanut butter on there and then let him spread it so that he can feel like he was a part of this if I can get him away from the TV. We'll be right back. Hold on just a second. Family. He's a lot more entertaining than his sister. This is Jackson, and he's 4. And let Grandma turn this down so you can see. Say hi, I'm Jackson.
Hi, I'm Jackson.
What's your whole name?
Jackson Terrorize Brown.
That's his whole name. And he's going to help Grandma spread out this peanut butter. Let's get rid of this bread basket and let's put it over here so that we have a little bit more room. Let Grandma move that around, and let's pull this down a little bit.
Okay.
So all of our friends on YouTube can see us.
What's that?
See what we're doing. That's extra dough. We're going to do something with that later. So now, look, Grandma's going to show you what she wants you to do. Now what you do is you take the peanut butter, and it's just regular peanut butter. You can use crunchy peanut butter. Nutella would probably be delicious in this. And
Yeah, I would eat it.
can you spread it?
Yeah.
Can you spread it for Grandma? And he's a lefty. So let Grandma help you. Oh, you're doing such a good job.
I would actually love this.
You would actually love this? Look at us doing it together. Isn't that great?
I got it.
You got it? Pull it across there like that and then go back across. We may have to put a little bit more. Grandma wasn't quite for sure. You want to cover it completely because this is going to be a rolled candy. It's going to be beautiful and swirly when we get done. And for my friends out there that are making candy for older people in their neighborhood, let Grandma put some more on there. This might be something that they remember because it is a depression candy. It's probably was something that maybe a grandparent had fixed for them.
I love it.
You love it?
Yeah, I will.
All righty. Let Grandma go this way for just a minute.
Ooh. Ah. Ooh.
Just like with the last time when I had a little one helping me, my stuff did not go to plan. This did not go to plan. I found out after I went back and looked that this dough actually makes 2 spirals, and I used it to make one. So we have it in the refrigerator. It's setting up. It's not beautiful, but it is delicious. You guys need to try this. I'm going to put a description down in the bottom so you guys can see. I'm going to have my sweetheart, Grandpa Harold, taste it so that so you guys can see if somebody likes it. Can you taste that for me?
Oh, I like it.
You like it a lot?
I like it a lot.
Does it taste like your mama's?
Yeah.
Did I
Real
do
close.
good?
Did good.
Real close?
Did good.
Just a little bit. Nothing's quite like mama's. Okay, guys. That's candy number 5. Like I said, it didn't turn out very good. It didn't turn out beautiful, but what did I say? Handmade candies are not always beautiful because they're made with love, but they taste good. And so I got to have a little memory with my grandson. The last part of the video where he's in there will be just music because he was really out there and he was having maybe a conversation that wasn't too polite for public. So I'm just going to put me and him in there together to the Sugar Plum Fairy music from the Nutcracker, which I think is fitting for 1.5 pounds of powdered sugar candy. I hope you guys enjoy it. Remember, it's just one potato, and you add the powdered sugar till you get a taffy. But remember, that is for 2 of them and not for 1. And that's where Grammy Nene went wrong. And like I said, I don't hide the fails from you. You guys go with me for the wins and for the losses. Because sometimes it's just really funny. Because I made something that nobody else made. You guys have a wonderful, blessed night. Until next time, I'm Grammy Nene.